following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Y'all hungover?
You probably are.
Football hangover? Not alcohol. Not Bourbon Street hungover.
That's you.
You and Jerry. And Rosie.
Oh, man. Man.
Hanging with the people.
Hanging with the people. Well, where do we start?
Oh.
We can start by me looking at this sheet where everybody picks scores. Not one person had either score.
Not even close.
Not even close.
But two people did have the right prediction. The win-loss prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I blew that one too. Yeah. Where do we start? Where did it go wrong? Did it ever start off right? Kurt.
Did it ever start
What's your
off right?
biggest takeaway? Where did the Cowboys fail?
Well, you know, if you told me that
biggest area.
they'd go into New Orleans, not give up a touchdown, hold Kamara to under 100 yards from scrimmage,
You felt all right about
I'd say
that.
they'd win that game, but offense had other ideas.
So offense, you think offense is the biggest letdown of this game?
Yeah, they just couldn't get anything going.
Yeah. Jesse? Biggest letdown for you?
Yeah, Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore. And a lot of people via Twitter and you hear, interacting with the fans, for some odd reason they want to put this on Jason Garrett. And I find it very hard to believe. And trust me, this is coming from someone who has fired Garrett on multiple occasions. To hear the fans like, this is Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett didn't go in there and call one play. And I find it very hard to believe that he...
Oh, you got a call?
Yeah, Jason, he's taking up for you right now.
I find it hard to believe that Jason all of a sudden, after 3 great weeks of offensive performance, walked into the meeting room and said, listen, Kellen Moore, listen, kid, listen, youngster, here's what we're going to do. No. I do feel that this was one of those, the moment got a little bit too big for Kellen Moore. And that's okay. He's a rookie in this. And sometimes those moments can get the best of you.
Nate, biggest letdown?
Marcus Davenport, Cameron Jordan, David Omea, Brown, kid Brown we got from the University of Texas. Those were the biggest, along with Lattimore. Those were the things that caused the Dallas Cowboys their problems. We could not do things offensively because of our offensive linemen did not play as the offensive line that we knew. From these very first snap, they had players making plays. Even when Amari Cooper caught the first out, that kid was all over him. And he let him know from that point on, you may catch some balls, but you will work for every one of them. And they said that same with the defensive line. You may block us, but you gonna work and hustle on every block. And they took over the game. And by the time the fourth quarter came, they were owning our offensive line. And I haven't seen that happen in a long time, even with the backups last year.
Yeah.
And
what'd you think?
Man, one, it was boring as hell in that stadium. That's what I think. I mean, I don't know what it looked like on TV, but it just – nothing could get going. It was just the fans were loud. I mean, it was crazy atmosphere, and it just felt like it just felt off. It didn't seem like that was the team we had seen the first 3 weeks.
It wasn't.
It's almost like you came in and you out-thought yourself. And I don't know if it's because it was hard to see where I was all over the place, but it seemed like a very physical game because those guys were hitting. I think the one bright spot for me was Robert Quinn looked awesome, and I think the defense, if the defense can keep playing like they did, I'm encouraged, but the offense just seemed off,
Well, first of all, They wasn't gonna move as much pre-snap moves. And,
why not?
They weren't gonna move as much, but
why not,
brother? They could have tried it, but they weren't all on the same page now. And I think somebody was telling us that, and I think it was Mickey saying that the communications was great. Okay, if the communications was great, I'm for all the movement.
That's who you are, though.
Yeah.
Don't change your stripes now. You've been this you've been this all off season, you've been this all training camp, you've been this for the first 3 games of the season. Don't change your stripes now. Why those motions and those movements, what it does is it gives Dak a clear picture of what's happening. Okay. They sat back in that cover 2 all day long. And they literally said to the Cowboys,
run.
Here's the deal. We don't fear your run game as much as you praise your run game. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit back in this cover 2 because they spent 85 to 90% of that game in cover 2. And they said, run it. We like our chances with the front 7 that we got. The safety was back. They didn't even add another guy to the box. And repeatedly, the Cowboys just kept running right into a wall over and over and over again. It was insane to see that. And it made no sense that you got to this point in time of the season and you changed your stripes.
Okay, well, one thing I'm quite sure, that going down the road, they not going to do this again.
Why would you? Why did they? I mean, what
was it? The noise? Was it the communication?
Well, they may have thought going into the game that the communications wouldn't be able, or they couldn't get off what they needed with that. I'm with you, Jesse. If they tell me, if I can find out, now for evidently because you convicted in what you're saying, that they should have tried more motion. Even if they didn't go in the game with that in their mind, they should have tried that. But I'm going to say this right here. Even if they would have tried that, their defensive line, man, if you go back and look at the film, their defensive line was in and on us.
Yeah, but we ran the ball on 70% of the time.
First down.
On first down.
Mm-hmm. Which had been a lot lower than that the first 3 games.
Which is, we were doing it at like 50% the first 3 games. Again, what did I say last week? That they could not find themselves on 3rd and longs. Mm-hmm. You cannot find. Right. And when you run into a brick wall, that's 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11, 2nd and 9. Then now you find yourself 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Now that is a definite passing down. I do everything now like, oh, you got to pass it to me. Instead of going back to what worked for you for the first 3 games, it blew my mind to see this team change. Mm-hmm. And it was nothing that caused for the change. You didn't even attempt and say, all right, fellas, we tried it, and the crowd is just too loud, we can't hear anything. But in the end of the day is, what is me doing this or raising my leg or pointing to a guy to send him in motion? That ain't nothing. There's nothing. The crowd can't affect that. But what it now does is, oh, Dak knows. It's a cover. It's man-to-man coverage. Oh, they're back in the zone. Okay, here's my first read. Here's my second read. I got some guys moving. They let those dudes sit there and thought you were. That is this team. This team was 2 plays away from being back-to-back going to the Super Bowl. This is a good football team.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't Kellen Moore and Coach Kittner know this? Saying, okay, we need to go in the game with a game plan of, okay, we're gonna still move in motion and we're gonna do what we need to do. Wouldn't they know that though?
We assume that, yes. We assume that they would know that, but when you pop on and watch the game, you're looking like that. If you had dropped in from Mars and didn't know what this team did in the last 3 games, and all you had recognition of what they did last year, and you watched that New Orleans game, you would say, oh, this was 2018. This ain't 2019. Mm-hmm. It looked like it was a 2018 football team.
Yeah. I was also surprised they didn't use the play action much. I mean,
the RPOs, nothing.
Yeah, 39% coming into this season, and this first 3 games, they used 20% last night.
Well,
and the 7 times they did, Dak was 6 for 7.
First half, but in the second half, they weren't gonna fall for the play because it was non-existent. The run action was non-existent.
He had success. I don't know when he had it, but I mean, Dak was 6 for 7 and 65 yards on play action.
You can go take that film out, man, and I agree with the motion. And one thing, it would have helped Dak. The motion and the movement would have helped Dak, but that wouldn't have did enough for our offensive line.
What did you see with the offensive line, Nate? What was the breakdown?
Almost every play, it was a breakdown. And it was a breakdown in key position.
Was it assignments or was it just bad play?
Just bad physical play. Mm-hmm. Everybody knew who to block. They just couldn't block them. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying in my mind that, okay, it wasn't a lot of movement, and I'm already saying, this is what Nate's saying is, okay, the noise. And maybe they went into the game like Jess saying, well, maybe they should have said, hey, let's spend a series or two seeing could we do this. I'm with you there. But when you call a play, the play has to be executed. Now, yes, when you have familiarity and what they looked at and said, okay, if they coming back with what they did last year, they keyed in. Like, okay, they ain't changed nothing, so this is what we're going to do. Because remember last year the game was tight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because their defensive line was good. But we blocked a little bit better and made the plays. Where we really lost the game at is when we did have drives, it came out with turnovers. So, yes, I'm not disputing that, but I'm telling.
And to your point, Travis Frederick was on with Ben and Skin about an hour or two ago, and he said our communication was fine.
Yeah.
We were able to communicate up and down the line with no problems. He said, but it was somebody had a breakdown every time it seemed like we were getting something going, someone would have a breakdown. I would have a breakdown. Tyron would have a breakdown. Zach would have a breakdown. It was just those untimely breakdowns. He was like, at no point in time we would be able to consistently be on the same page as an offensive line. We had very good moments, but at the end of the day, he goes, if there was 6, 7 mess ups, it was each one of us had one mess up at some point in time in the game that either killed a drive, backed us up, stopped us. And it was like there was just untimely situation that they had across the front. It wasn't that they performed bad altogether. They just had individual breakdowns that overall killed drives, and then you have 2 turnovers on top of that.
I remember one game where they did a tackle out into the end to the
TE twist.
Yeah, went straight into Tyron, and guy came inside. It just broke free right as he was getting ready to release the ball. That was just enough to make it just spin out of control. And I'm saying to myself, they did not get the sacks, but this is what I realized. About our quarterback. He doesn't have the greatest arm talent. When you don't have the greatest arm talent, your mechanics means a whole lot more to you than, say, the kid from Kansas City or Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Your mechanics do mean a little bit more to you. And they just kept him off his spot. Now, maybe that was because, like you say, they should have schemed a few more guys open. But, man, go back and look at that film. They weren't having it. My man Davenport, I was fearing that all week. I hope this dude don't show up. Choose this game to show up. He showed up, and he showed up early.
Do you have something to say, Kurt?
No.
What are you laughing at? This is not funny, man. We lost. What are you finding humor at in this,
Shut
Kurt?
up. You.
This is serious. We're 3-1 now. We had a chance to be 4-0.
The world is falling apart.
Nate was right about Rankins too. You said if he played, it'd cause problems.
For some reason, I believe this right here. When you go home against the Saints, you take that same team and you place it in an open-air stadium, and that defense does not look the same. But you've taken and put it up in them hostile, hollering, screaming fans, and that little split second that they have to get off on that rock, they're a different team. Their attitude is different.
I'm glad you said that. That's a great point that Nate just made. When you're playing in New Orleans, right, and you're now everything that you do is silent count. Okay, the defense is from the time that you're a little leaguer, pee-wee football. If you play defense of anything around the football, you move when?
The ball
moves.
Yeah.
Offensively, you're always taught, very seldom do you do silent count. You're always taught to listen for the hut.
Yeah.
Every time, right? Now sound echoes. So it goes from his mouth to when you get it to when we get it outside as receivers. So when the ball moves, if I'm an offensive lineman, I'm not looking in at the ball. I'm looking at the people in front of me, right? So 9 times out of 10, I'm listening for wide 80,
right?
Wide 80. So you get the rhythm of the cadence of your quarterback. So you know how long he's going to hold that wide 80. So you get the rhythm of that. You do it every day with them. You get the rhythm, so you can know you get your jump off. When you're in silent count, now you're a tick slower because who are you reacting off of?
The defensive lineman.
The defensive lineman. Because they're moving when the ball snaps. I can't look down. I can't look at the ball and then get my eyes back up to you. You might have switched and changed and shifted. So once we get our stuff set, I'm in my stance, either 3-point or 2-point stand, and I'm looking at my assignment. I only move when you move because we're in silent count. The center and guard, if you got a guard that's like, tapping the center, then they move it, but everybody's not on that string anymore. Great point, because now you might think, that doesn't matter. It matters. It matters when you're a second slow and he's already got off and got momentum. Now you're talking about creating edges, creating gaps, creating splits. All of that stuff matters. So when you go into these home situations like New Orleans, like Seattle, like Kansas City, and you got to go silent count, this is the part that hurts you. Because an offensive lineman, I'm going to be a tick slower because I'm watching you, and all you're doing is watching the ball. So when it goes, you move, then I move.
And I'm going to tell you what hurts is when you've lost total control because of the crowd. Now it gets to a point late in the game where you actually got to tell them we coming at you. Because you saw Zeke walk up one time and say, right here. He pointed right at the hole. And what's called had to shake his head like, yeah. And he turned around and handed him the ball. They was sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
When it gets like that, that's when I almost stopped charting after that. I say, wow, we done lost it. And maybe that's where we needed Kellum to try something. Or maybe we needed the coach to try something. But it got to the point where they got kind of frustrated. And most coaches, like Andy Reid, McVay, the coach for Green Bay, they would say, you know what? Forget this. Norv Turner, let's air this out. Forget this running.
Right.
Let's air this out. Well, our team gets frustrated and say, we running it. We running it. That's the difference. That is the big difference. When we get frustrated and things ain't going right, we got this big offensive line, we got the greatest running back, let's run it. Whereas most teams, they just like, man, forget this. We finna air this thing out.
Let's talk about that when we come back.
Yeah.
Does this team fully trust Dak? On Hanging with the Boys.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
Right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus.
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store and learn how to buy one smartphone and get a second one on us. Based on GWS One score, September 2018.
Now's a good time to tell you that SeatGeek is the new source of tickets for all your football needs this season. SeatGeek makes managing tickets easy, whether it's buying or transferring to a friend. They even tell you the best deals for every game based on their deal score technology, which rates every seat on historical data, price, and location. Download the SeatGeek app on your phone and take $20 off your first purchase using code DALLAS at checkout. SeatGeek. Life's an event. we have the tickets.
Work the Cowboys way and channel the winning business tradition of the Dallas Cowboys and the Jones family at Formation. This dynamic workspace provides an elevated work experience on the Star's aspirational campus with exclusive membership options available to meet varying needs. Choose from open workspaces, dedicated desks, and private offices to leverage our home field advantage for your individual business success. Limited memberships are available now, so apply today at formationatthestar.com.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
All under 20 yards.
Back.
But you know they are.
Find the right. What am I supposed to be reading here? This is weird. Here we go. Cowboys Hours, free and open to the public. Join us at Neighborhood Services at the Omni Frisco Hotel for the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour presented by Albertsons. Tune in tonight as hosts Brad Sham, Kevin Turner, and Taylor Stern sit down with LP Ladiseur and Xavier Suafilo. For more information, visit DallasCowboys.com/Cowboys Hour.
I'm with that. But, okay, Jesse just showed me, before we get to the Dak, trust me or trust me not, he just showed me the chart. But you know, when we talked Friday, I said our defense was too quick for when they turn and just throw that ball. See, this is what I love about Sean Payton. He saw that too. He like, I ain't throwing out there. If I throw out there, it's going to Kamara. That's the only guy I'm throwing out there. Everything else going to be 5 yards or more down the field. It's not going to be 20, but I'm going to design some stuff that gets my guys 5 yards. So my run game is my pass game.
Yeah, it's the run game.
So here we go. This guy completed 23 passes, no more than 16 yards was one of the longest one he stole.
Yep.
But they were all upfield, so they was 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4.
He was 23 of 30 for 193 yards.
Yeah.
What did I say last week? They're going to run routes with their receivers to do what? Lift the coverage. All I want to do is get linebackers, safeties, and corners to turn their bodies and turn their heads and go that way. Cool. Because once I do that, Jared Cook, Hill, Taysom Hill, the other Hill, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas. Okay, fine. 5 here, 7 there, first down. 7 there, 3 here, first down. 5 here. Oh, he took it and ran 14 more yards. That's all they were going to do. They were going to make you have to tackle.
Execution. And even though we had Malik Collins playing okay, we had our right defensive end playing great, and Quinn, it wasn't enough. Even though we had Leighton play one of his better games, coming up, it wasn't enough. They made those 5 or 6 plays that we was talking about, 2 of them being turnovers for their defense. Mm-hmm. 2 of them being turnovers, and then their punt returner cracked off a nice one during the game. You always have to win 2 phases. Mm-hmm. They won 2 phases. They beat our offensive line, and they had a better special teams. They beat us, man.
There's a 4th phase they won too. Coaching. They outcoached us.
Well, see,
Sean Payton outcoached us.
See, brother, the reason I didn't bring it up because I kind of told y'all that Friday.
You did.
Yeah.
He outcoached us.
It's 3 coaches and their staffs that I'm going to always go with. I'm going to always go with Sean Payton. I'm going to always go with Andy Reid until the playoffs.
In the regular season.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go with Sean McVay because he's learning. And the other guy, man, as soon as he retired, just put him in the Hall of Fame.
Belichick?
That's right. Put him in the Hall of Fame.
He'll need to wait 5 years.
Yeah, just put the man in the Hall of Fame. If you don't, he's going to video the other guys in the Hall of Fame. He's going to be up on some type of charges. You know what I'm saying?
Zeke Elliott, 18 yards, 18 rushes,
carries.
35 yards.
1.9 average.
1.9 average with a long of 6.
6, yeah.
And a fumble.
Yeah.
Everybody got a touchdown. Fantasy players ought to be happy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He led the team in catches, too, and that's not a good thing, right, when he's leading the team in catches?
Targeted 7 times, 6 receptions for 30 yards. When your run game looks like that on paper, and it looks...
And Tony Pollard played 2. Count them.
2 plays?
2 plays.
But he got a penalty for one to help, He turned the linebacker.
Yeah, didn't run the ball once, did he?
Nope.
Let me say this, fellas.
That's what I'm saying. They got away from everything that they were successful with.
I'm gonna believe in this here. The thing that made you good was your offensive line. That's the thing that wasn't as good, and these are fixable things. And that's the great thing about it is take care of the down lineman. A lot of times we didn't take care of the down lineman.
How do you do that?
By standing. When I'm double teaming, when me and you double teaming Kurt, I got to stay on him until the linebacker draws me off. I just can't assume that you there. I got to secure you, especially when it's the
premier player.
Brown is a run stopper. Like you said, Brown felt in his heart, okay, they let me go out of New England. I'm a run stopper. Now it's time for me, and Malcolm Brown, it's time for me to mature. I am going to stop this run at all costs. And then when I leave too soon, boom. I'm running out of linebacker that ain't even made a decision yet because they waiting. They waiting to see what Zeke going to do. And I turned that guy free, and I turned loose the other kid too, Rankins. We turned them loose like 2 or 3 times. And that's all it take on first down. Like he said, now you're looking at 2nd and 9. 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11. That happened a lot.
When your run game stops like this and it's not productive, did they give Dak an opportunity to do enough in this game? Was this obviously you said Kellen Moore? You're putting this one on Kellen Moore. Did they give Dak enough opportunities to win this game?
No. If this is going to be a dude you pay $35, $4, $6, I don't know, whatever you pay him, $30+ million. If this is going to be your franchise quarterback, if he's going to be the guy that carries this franchise to whatever
for the next 6 years,
for the next 6 to 10 years, these are the games that he has to win. These are the games that. Let me ask you this question. If it was a green jersey with number 12 on and it was 2 minutes left in that very game and
over.
he had the ball, how confident would you feel?
Oh, we've seen it in our stadium,
right?
A couple of times. Yeah.
I didn't feel that confident when it was Dak doing it. Even though he has a lot of game-winning drive, I just didn't feel that's a franchise quarterback. If it was number 12 in the blue jersey and had the New England sign on his helmet, how confident would you have felt in that? These are the games. If you're going to pay a dude $35 million. Then you're going to say, okay, 4, you got it. Go win us this football game. And time again, they took it away from him. What I would love to see, and I played for a quarterback here in Dallas who would take it upon himself to try and go win football games. I played with Tony Romo, who I can tell you for a fact changed about 65% of the plays in the huddle at the line of scrimmage. Because it was, okay, and I thought that we saw Dak trending in that early in this year, coming to the line of scrimmage, IDing the stuff, seeing this. Oh no! Hey, get here! Come here! Boom! Hey, get here! Hit! I thought we saw that. In this game, it didn't look as confident as someone who had fully control of what they were doing and was putting his team in the best. I think it felt like he was like, "All right, they called it. Let's run it. Here we go. Back into the offensive line, right to the butts of the offensive lineman again." And there was no adjustments from him. That's what I need to see from him. I need to see you be a $40 million quarterback and go, check. Get my guys into the best play possible and go win football games.
I'm going to tell you something. Something can't never happen. And this is one thing we took upon ourselves when I played as offensive line. Brother, you can't beat us with 7. That can't happen again either, bro. It was a lot of no-nos in this game. Okay, Kellen Moore does not get a pass, but he do get a chance to learn.
To fix it?
Yeah, he gets a chance to learn. Dak, now that is one thing you said that has to happen. This is your 4th year. This offense ain't changed. Only thing we do now is we motion a little bit more to help you get into a better play.
Identify what the defense is doing.
Take ownership of it. Now, and maybe they have. I haven't asked that question to know, but if you see where something can be changed, or if you don't like the play coming out of the huddle, When you see it right away, don't wait. Hey, man, no. This is what we finna run.
Right.
And check into it if that allows you in this game. See, I don't know. I haven't heard from the quarterbacks or the other folks. I know the offensive line said that they could communicate. It didn't show up too well, but they said they could. I'm not. I didn't know whether this would be a 30 to 40 game, or I didn't know how the points would go, but I knew it would be 2 or 3 points, however it went.
Yeah.
You feel like these teams look like they were so well matched in this game.
The turnovers made the difference for me.
Turnovers made a difference. Do you feel like you could play 10 of these games, 5 in the Superdome, 5 at AT&T Stadium, and you pretty much the home team is going to win both times, or is this such a better team that they outplayed them?
You mentioned them as the coaches. Mm-hmm. There's a difference. I mean, talent-wise, are the Cowboys a better team?
Man for man, you would say that, but I mean, Michael Thomas, Amari Cooper. All right, you know what I'm saying? Apples and oranges, right? Both good fruits.
Yeah.
Right? Drew Brees, if he's healthy, I would take Dak over Teddy Bridgewater. Mm-hmm. Drew Brees, Kellen Moore. Okay. Maybe the offensive line, okay. Cameron Jordan, Tank Lawrence. Marcus Davenport, Robert Quinn. All right. These young linebackers, they're up and down this year, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Their corners, Marcus Lattimore, Byron Jones, Eli Apple, Cheeto, Von Bell, Xavier Wood. I mean, so when you look at the teams, the discrepancy of talent, the margin isn't a wide margin. Mm-hmm. If a player is better than the other player, it's like, okay, Zeke, Alvin Kamara. It's not like Zeke, Alvin Kamara.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's not like Michael Thomas, Amari Cooper, or Amari Cooper, Michael Thomas. Mm-hmm. The margin is very slim. And so when you have that type of margin, when the margin is so slim, it goes to all of those little ancillary things. When the talent level is so matched, what makes the difference? Turnovers, coaching, penalties,
crowd noise.
Mm-hmm. So all of those little things come into play. And speaking of penalties, Amari Cooper got 2.
I was going to ask you, did he look off to you? Do you think his injury or his non-practice?
He didn't have the burst. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you this, and this is something that most, and Nate knows this, this is something that most fans and people on the outside don't know. Those 2 offensive pass interference calls, those are coaching and player induced, or what other word am I looking for? Encouraged. Here's why. When you watch film sometimes, you'll pick up little tendencies from different players. A coach might see it, a player might see it. And then you'll go into a game, and this is how you influence the refs. You go into a game, pregame is happening, the refs are out there. You
continue to talk.
You go, hey, Mr. Official, listen, man, that number 19 for Dallas, he always pushing off, Mr. Official. And then you go see the side judge. Hey, Mr. Official, man, listen, watch number 19. He's always pushing off on his routes. And then Sean Payton comes out, and he goes to the field judge, and he goes, hey, man, listen, 19, that push off. So now in the back of it, what was the movie with Will Smith where he was gambling? And then the dude at the end of the day, they were playing a football game, and the dude that saw the 5s all day long. And then at the end of the day, Will Smith was like, I'll bet you whatever. They set it up all day long for him to see a certain number. Mm-hmm. So mentally, this number was in his mind, and Will Smith called the number. The dude went on it, and he won a bunch of money. That's all he did was. I told the ref over and over and over before the pregame. Marcus Lattimore might have said it. The coach might have said it. So now in the ref's mind, all I've heard all pregame is about how number 19 pushes off. Mm. So when I see Lattimore go back and I look, 19, oh yeah, that he was pushed off. Mm. So there's certain things like that happen throughout the course of a game that most people don't know that happens. And that's how you influence an official, because he may not be purposely calling it, but subconsciously he's heard about 19 and pushing off, and that looked like a push off from number 19. Mm-hmm. Got to be a flag.
Dinosaur snap last year in Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
done that his whole career.
Yeah.
Never been called.
Pregame, though, they was just look at well, nobody's jumped. And ref like, nobody's jumped. And then as soon as that dude jump.
So this stuff happens more often than you know.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches,
you didn't think they were penalties, though, right?
I didn't know at all.
Yeah.
But I don't have to think it's a penalty. I got to just trick you to do it.
Especially that last one, bro.
But they're human. They're human, and if you tell somebody something enough all the time, then they'll start looking at it in such a way.
Especially in New Orleans, where every other word they say to the official is "F you," because they're still very bitter about that playoff game last year. That was very evident within the crowd.
You see how me and Jesse. Now, we saw basically the same things, lack of movement before, pre-snap reads and stuff like that, offensive line. But you see how we both attack, how he attacked from a skill position that, hey, what happened to the movement? What not helping you guys get over? And I'm like, man, the offensive line need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's so many moving parts in a game that helps you win or lose a game. But it still came down to those 5 or 6 plays, the 2 pushing off. The 2 fumbles, and then when the defense sacked these guys, in the first play we get the ball with a minute left, we not only get sacked, but we lose the level.
Yeah.
And then we threw some balls that even me as offensive lineman, I'm like, why did we even throw that ball and went for 5 yards? Everything should have been just streaking down the field, man. Everything should have been at least 20 or 30-yard pass. You agree or disagree at the end of the game?
No, I agree.
It's like, we just threw what did we just throw here?
But then it comes back to the way they were playing coverage. All those guys were back.
Yeah.
They were saying, listen, you can have, even the Randall Cobb play, people were like, oh, my God. No, he wasn't going nowhere. There was 3 guys standing back there waiting for him. In fact, I want you to throw it in the middle of the field because we're going to tackle him. We're going to lay on him.
Then they did.
And they did. Now, I agree with you, but here's why I kind of don't agree with you. Because, and this is, as Dion would say, you fat hogs, y'all got to run 40 yards.
Yeah, but we're going to take off.
Y'all got to run 40 yards and get set and then do another play.
But see,
you see what I'm saying? So I got to get 40. I got to get 5 guys who are 300 pounds, 40 yards down the field to get lined up to run another play.
See, I've never had that problem though. I never had that problem because Troy said, "Hey man, as soon as you see that ball touch the receiver's hand, because you got some vision." I just take off running. I don't know what the hell it's going to be. A lot of times I don't got trapped downfield trying to because I know that's how y'all guys thought of us.
Let's take another break.
Wow.
When we come back.
Eric Williams got us jammed like that in Philly one time.
We'll finish this story, getting jammed up in Philly. Can the Cowboys save their season, or is Kurt right? Is it over? On Hangin with the Boys.
For your next AT&T Stadium barbecue, gear up with OtterBox, the official outfitter of tailgating. It starts with the Venture Cooler. Built tough in America, Venture keeps ice for days and days. Or stay light on your feet with Trooper Soft Coolers, perfect for packing in your signature side dishes.
Tailgating wouldn't be complete without a beverage, so pour one into the OtterBox Elevation Tumbler. It keeps your drinks frosty and toasty. Discover more about OtterBox line of tailgate essentials at OtterBox.com.
Now's a good time to tell you that SeatGeek is the new source of tickets for all your football needs this season. SeatGeek makes managing tickets easy, whether it's buying or transferring to a friend. They even tell you the best deals for every game based on their deal score technology, which rates every seat on historical data, price, and location. Download the SeatGeek app on your phone and take $20 off your first purchase using code Dallas at checkout. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
The excitement of Dallas Cowboys football is back at AT&T Stadium.
The place is going crazy in Arlington, Texas.
Don't miss your chance to see the Cowboys live when they host their NFC East rivals, the Eagles, Giants, and Redskins, plus the Green Bay Packers and more.
Elliott works his way through and walks the dog.
Single game tickets are on sale now. Get them before they're gone.
First and goal, quarterback sneak. Prescott pushes up the middle. Touchdown.
Visit DallasCowboys.com to get your tickets today.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Back. Kurt's got something to tell you.
Tailgating can be sweaty work. The unloading, the grilling, the games of
cornhole.
Lord Jesus.
Make sure
There's
your
something
tail
about that
remains
that turns you
sweat-free
on
with
for some reason.
Tommy John, the breathable moisture wicking underwear that keeps you 2 to 3 times cooler than regular cotton. Go to TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 20% off your first order. TommyJohn.com/Cowboys.
Can you tell us
Thanks,
before
Kurt.
Jesse, breaks some more stuff down? Can you tell us how Kurt has
No.
doing the Cowboys?
We were having lunch.
Right.
Y'all
Kurt
are
was like,
blowing things out of proportion.
you got Green Bay in here this week.
You know they can't.
If you don't win.
Yeah, they could be 3-2, and then the next week is Philadelphia, and they fight for their playoffs lives. And
Totally
And for one, Shannon, don't do that, Kurt. I mean, Shannon tried to bring him up.
Trying to be
and
positive.
He got mad. Well, I'm just going to go run off the stat sheet. I got better things to do.
Then he said, see, told you Zeke can't run. They shouldn't have gave him all that money.
Yeah.
1.9 yard average.
Well, I don't know what
bad money
conversation
spent.
you guys were
Tell me
having.
that's 25. That's 25 mil a yard.
All
All right, Kurt, we'll give you a chance to redeem yourself.
Sure, okay.
What do you think?
About what?
The Dallas Cowboys. That's what we're talking about today.
I think they'll be good. I mean, this is just a bump in the road. They'll learn from it. They'll come back out. They'll be fired up for next week against Green Bay.
How do you feel about them against Green Bay? I know we'll talk about that later in the week. But
I think they'll win. I picked them to win earlier in the season. I think they
Okay.
will. But, I mean,
There you go.
again, it's going to be a tough team. It's not the Dolphins, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to come out and
So why everybody compare it? Like, it's not the Dolphins. Why the Dolphins getting threw under the bus, man?
Dolphins bad.
Somebody asked me something. I don't understand the Dolphins. In the first half, they can play with anybody. In the second half, they give it up. I said, that's what losing teams do, man. Am I correct, man?
Yeah.
That's what losing teams, even in high school. Oh, man, first school. And the coach will feed on, man, if we can ever just carry over from the first half.
Yeah.
We can ever just.
that's just like the NCAA tournament every
Yeah.
year. You have like some directional school playing Duke or North
Right,
Carolina,
right.
and they're within 3 or 4 points at halftime, and then just game over.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Should Cowboy fans be worried, or is this a learning experience against a good team, a great team at home that has one of the best coaches in the league, regardless of who their quarterback is? Is this just one of those games where we got beat? We're still a great football team.
I think personally, and Jesse add on to this from his perspective, but I really believe that all the things I saw, they can correct. They can correct. The making sure you secure the down block. That's football 101 for offensive linemen. Secure your down block before you move off to the next level. You know, we could never get to the next level because we never secured the down block. And the next level didn't count. So, you know, in a few technical things on passing, you know, you're going to be all right. Now, the question is, how quick will Smith
Tyron
get back?
Smith,
Yeah, now that
high ankle sprain.
yeah, you can't keep running. You can't. See, some teams ain't going to allow you to run a backup out there on them. And Green Bay, if they can get you behind the chains, that's where they're good at. Their defense is good if they can get you behind the chain. But if you can keep them chains even, you got them.
just the Saints went after Fleming those last few plays. You can tell they were running him ragged. So
yeah.
What do you think, Jesse? You think there's cause for worry, or do you think they're still in a good spot, Cowboys?
Well, technically, they're still in a good spot, right? 4 games in, you're 3-1. I
Yeah.
mean, granted, that's not a lot of teams that are 3-1 in this league right now. There's only 3 undefeated teams still in this league right now. 3-1 is a great place. You're still number 1 in the division. But the concern that I have is what Nate just hit on. Tyron's going to be out at least 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about a high ankle sprain, or as never mind. I'm not going to take a shot at anybody. A high ankle sprain.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's a 300-pound dude. That ain't Amari Cooper or Tavon Austin where they're light on their feet. 300-pound dude who needs to have that foot.
Kind of needs to anchor himself.
Yeah. So if his ankle ain't right, he ain't kicking off of it. He ain't planting off of it. He gonna be tender. He gonna be hesitant. Now guys are throwing 2 different moves at him. He's compromised. And if he's compromised, your left tackle is compromised, your O-line is compromised. Because now what you have to do is you either have to do one or two things. You either got to take a tight end and put over there or back and put over there.
I'll turn the protection now all the time.
So you're compromised. You're still without Michael Gallup, who probably has about 2 more weeks for his knee injury, right? 2 or 3 more weeks for his knee injury.
Yep.
So now your number 2 receiver is out. Your number 1 left tackle is out. And you got to go and play a team that's gotten better defensively. And in the back of all of our minds, we know that Aaron Rodgers has it out for the Cowboys. So that part concerns me. You lose another player. You lost who had the pec injury?
Frazier.
Yeah, Kayvon Frazier, pec injury. Some other guys were banged up.
Yeah,
all of that stuff begins to matter. And even though you don't lose them for an extended period of time, when you begin to have ailments from different injuries, that lessens your performance. That lessens your ability to play at 100%.
Strains the backups.
Correct.
That's what I always try to tell people. That strain, it's the reason you have starters, and especially the guys that you have paid to be high-quality starters. You tend to, as a team, say, okay, Corey Fleming, we can't pay you. This is what we can pay you because we got to pay this guy. And that guy is maybe a level and a half below what you see? So
overall, I'm not worried. Short term, I'm a little concerned. Again, they're 3-1 with 12 more games to go. You get through Green Bay, you got the Jets, you got a little bit of, but now once you get to that, we all know that 5-game stretch, you got to put stuff together and hope that, one, you continue to grow offensively. I think this is a learned lesson for Kellen Moore. I don't think this is what he is. I think this was a moment where the moment got a little big for him. Looked over there, saw Sean Payton. Sean said, checkmate, and he had no answer.
Yeah.
But your quarterback has to play better. Your play calling has to be better. Not overall concerned. O-line has to be better. I'm not overall concerned, but I am worried a little bit in the short-term interim.
Yeah, and you're 3-1, and that's pretty much where everybody thought they were going to be at this point in the season.
Except Nate.
And let me tell you why.
You and DeRoe.
No, bro.
You tell DeRoe he switched his pickup last week, too.
Let me tell you why.
It's his fault.
Because, Jesse, you tell me if I'm wrong here. This team from top to bottom, especially they was breezeless, is better than that team. Now, we did not play better, but if you want to have home field advantage, you had your first shot at it. The first 3 teams we were supposed to beat. Everybody else going to beat them too. This was your first shot at making sure Philadelphia didn't catch you. It was your first shot to let the Saints and any other NFC team that's going to be a threat. We are going for home field advantage. As a young team, this is what Jimmy pressed it upon us early. Man, we need that home field advantage. We're not that good yet. When you get that good, then okay, second round, it don't matter. We won from being the second best team,
right?
But for home field advantage, where we had to go into somebody else's house, that's fine. But until you become that team and be able to take away what's good for another team, you need to win every game. That's why I'm saying, from a player, I'm not looking at the Cowboys as somebody that, okay, they're gonna be a 6. A 7. I'm looking at they're going to be 1, 2, at the worst 3.
Right.
That's how I'm looking at the Cowboys. But you cannot lose a game like this and be where I'm talking about being. See, the NFC Championship ain't going to fall in your lap. You got to take that NFC Championship, and that's the only way you have a shot to play at the Super Bowl. That's why I'm saying they needed this game.
Yeah, they did, especially without Breeze. And again, hindsight is always 20/20. You used to ask yourself, if Breeze played in that game, man, you might have lost by 20. But then again, maybe things are different on the other side.
I was going to say, would they change the play call if you get down like that?
Who knows? But this is a game that you're supposed to win. When you hold a team without scoring a touchdown at home, with all your starters, and they're missing their Hall of Fame quarterback, you got to win. You have to win this game. Everything about this game you should have won, but you did those things that the Cardinals said you can't. Come on, Jason Witten fumbled. He fumbled 9 times in 15 years. Zeke doesn't fumble. He fumbled. Whether it was the right call or not.
Thank you. That's what I'm telling you.
It doesn't matter. He fumbled.
Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something, man. I said it, and this guy has not proven me wrong. Carson Wentz is coming, man. You better pray he get hurt, because Carson Wentz is coming. And guess what he did? That showed. See, this is what tells me a guy is growing. He dinked and dunked Green Bay and won the game. Now, you can say you missed a field goal or this didn't go right, but he won the game. That gives him confidence, and that gives all them guys in the locker room, maybe there's something to this guy when you missing a bunch of your core players. Carson Wentz coming, man. I'm telling you now.
And we talked about their schedule at the end of the year. It's a lot easier for them the last 5 games. So
who's being negative now?
I'm not negative. That's reality, Kurt. That's reality. The Eagles will be there. We said it on this show. The Eagles, I'm going to tell you like the real Anthony. I'm going to get excited like real Anthony. I told you. It's going to come down to the last game or 2 of the year. Yeah. Between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Watch. See what I told you, Kurt.
What you think,
See what I told you.
No, it's going to be – the Cowboys are fine, man. They're going to be fine. You like to believe that they're going to rectify the situation, get back in the lab. And this is a learning experience for Kellen Moore. It is. This is his – he's had, you know how many games he has on his belt as an offensive coordinator? 4. 4. Think about anything think about the first time you got on radio, the first 4 articles you ever wrote. Yeah. It wasn't very good articles. The first 4 times you were selling T-shirts, you probably wasn't the best at it. The first 4 times you got into an NFL field and had to go up against.
I froze.
Right?
I froze.
And so you're going to have but guess what? You learned, right? Punctuation became better. You learned new sales pitches, right? You learned how to do things differently. Same thing for me. So 4 games in, Kellen Moore, he's a smart kid. He would not be in the position if he wasn't a smart kid. Now, I like to believe, and I'm just gonna go from I don't know Kellen Moore that well. I know John Kitna very well. Right. I know he's gonna sit back and go, all right, that's on me. That's on me. Got to correct this. Got to correct that. They should be able to sit in the room as an offensive staff and say, that's on me. This is on us. Here's how we correct this. Now, if we go and we can see this next game against Green Bay and it looks similar to what we saw this week, now I'm like, sound the alarms. Sound the alarms.
Kurt's right.
Sound the alarms. Scott Linehan is back in the building somehow, some way.
Wow, man. Why is this dude attacking you, man?
You don't play Mr. Innocent.
Yeah, you.
Nate Newton.
That's him.
All
right, fellas.
Hey, have you recovered from Saturday yet?
Oh, why'd you bring that up?
So close.
Man.
Are you mad at the call? We're talking about the UNC Clemson game.
I'm mad at the going for 2, and I'm mad at the call.
Really?
Yeah, it's as a head coach, it is your job, Mac Brown, it is your job to know and to feel the temperature of your team. Offensively, we didn't have it in the second half. Our defense was standing up against the number 1 ranked team in the nation. Kick the extra point. Let's go into overtime.
At home.
Mm-hmm. And now Trevor Lawrence only had 205 yards passing. He wasn't beating us. We had the one mistake where we had a linebacker on Higgins. That was dumb. Ran right down the middle of the field for a touchdown. Take your chance with your defense, even if they score. College rules say we get a chance now too. Mm-hmm. You tried to go East and West against Clemson. That ain't gonna work.
Never on a team like that. Not East and West. The 2 points didn't bother me as much as when I saw the East and West with the quarterback.
Mac thought it was VY. Mac thought he had Vince Young. He thought it was Vince Young. He blinked and said, "Oh,
Vince
I got VY."
Made it to that corner.
Yeah,
They was sitting there waiting.
And then they run it.
Wow.
Here's the bad part about it. Not only did they run a terrible play, East and West, y'all ran to the short side of the field.
Yeah.
They ain't got farther. Y'all ran you ran an option to the short side of the field, no offense, with the white quarterback who ain't that athletic against Clemson, who they put first-round dudes out on that defense every single year.
But he did have his last option was, I'm going to still try to toss it to this other guy, so let me fumble.
Yeah. Just throw it up and see what happens.
Oh, my God.
Way to bring
Dang,
up
why you open up? I was just healing.
He's trying to get that heat off him, man. He's trying to get that negativity off him.
Yeah. Oh, well, Kurt, thanks for bringing Jesse down right when we were about to show. Thanks for bringing it, Nate. Jesse, thanks for being here. Kyle, thanks for getting us on the air. William, thanks for keeping all the streams up. Caden, stay away from this show. Douglas, we miss you. We'll be back tomorrow. Phone calls tomorrow.
Can we get some new callers? Because we do have a time limit with Jesse.
30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
And you off. Unless you call from out of the country, then you get 35.
Yeah. We'll try to get a bunch of callers in here. Let's get a bunch.
Let's get a bunch tomorrow.
A bunch.
Tomorrow. Hanging with the boys.
Before your next AT&T Stadium barbecue.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?